So I'm back with another video. So we're going to try and make a good bit of progress with this front end today. I'm going to chop off as much of the front of this car as I think I need to. But I'm not just going to chop it off, I'm going to pick pieces apart, if that makes sense. So I'm going to drill out the spot welds, peel bits back, because I basically want to be able to slot this one on almost like it was factory. So I'm going to get the grinder, clean up some of this seam sealer around some of the edges and try and show some of the spot welds. So I'm going to get the angle grinder out with the wire wheel again, so I can get rid of some of this seam sealer so I can see the spot welds underneath. Now I'm going to start peeling this metal back just enough so I can just see how it's all assembled, because obviously I'm not entirely sure. I've got a rough idea how it's all pieced together, but it's been nice to just peel it back, pull the bits out that I need to, and hopefully have it so I can, once I've got my jig, I can slot this front end on here without too many dramas. I think it's going to be hard work, but yeah, we'll see. I'm also going to try, because on this one, these pieces here, these corners, they're actually in pretty good shape compared to the one that I have since bought. So I'm going to try and peel these off without causing too much damage, so I can maybe use them either as a complete replacement panel, or I can maybe cut bits out of them to use to repair the rust on these ones. So that's half the reason for me trying to pull a lot of it off in good condition, because actually I'm hoping, like I say, I can use them as repair panels and what have you. So yeah, without further ado, let's get cracking.
So like I just said, I'm just using the wire wheel to strip all the seam sealer off. I like to use a wire wheel because it takes basically everything off, but doesn't damage the metal underneath, so it doesn't start cutting into the metal and making it thinner. It literally just takes off seam sealer, paint, stuff like that. And it cleans up the metal quite nice, but if you were going to weld it later on down the line. So yeah, that's why I quite like using them. But you just got to make sure you use a bit of eye protection, because yeah, you don't want a bit of the wire wheel flicking off and hitting you in the eyes.
So that should be enough for me to start drilling these spot welds out, and yeah, starting to peel some of these layers back so I can see what I'm working with. So I've got a nice new punch and obviously a hammer, and what I'm going to do is just put a nice centre punch, nice decent centre punch in the middle of each spot weld, and then I'm going to use one of these, and you put the point in the centre of the punch, and then in theory it just cuts around the spot weld. So yeah, let's give that a go.
I found the best thing to do with these spot weld drill bits is to keep it slow, low pressure to start with, And then once you've started cutting, you can add a little bit more pressure and a little bit more speed if you need. I found if you put too much speed or too much pressure too early, that it'd just try and walk off and out of the punched hole. I've seen people do a little drill hole where they've punched first, but I didn't really feel the need to do that, as you can see.
A few moments later.
So what you'll see later on in the video is that I actually did it different on the other side. I decided to cut the leg off first. I mean, I didn't have to do as much spot weld drilling and stuff like that, so it made the whole process a little bit quicker. But at this stage in the leg removal, I was a bit unsure on how I was going to attack it. So it's sort of just me working it out as I go along, really. If you are enjoying the video, watching me drill out a load of spot welds, please consider liking and subscribing. And yeah, see where we carry on going with this build. Hopefully, the front end will be back on soon. So I've done quite a few of the spot welds. I've not done them all yet, but I've just want to peel back this lower chassis leg. But there's just a little seam weld here, which I'm just going to use my little 3-inch disc cutter on. Just cut through that weld, and then hopefully I can get this chisel, which you may have seen me using already, just to get in behind and start peeling them back. I'm kind of hoping, because this lower bit of the chassis leg I'm not sure if that's actually bent or not. And if it's not, oh no it is, I can feel it on the other side. What I was going to say was, if it's alright, this bit of the chassis leg, I might try and keep this bit in, because it's a nice locator, but I can actually feel on the wheel well side, it's got a massive kink in it, so it's probably coming out. But I still want to do it this way, just so I know where I am, what I need to cut and stuff like that on that one.
sort of just debating the best plan of attack here at the minute. Because I think I'm going to cut it in this area down here and then come across here, and then when I know for sure how much I need to take off, I can take the rest off or whatever I need to do here. But I'm just debating whether I just lop this off now. Because really I want to try and save this top piece. This piece I'm not bothered about. But am I saving it for no reason? That could be. Because actually there's a rust hole there. Yeah. I think I'm saving it for no reason. So, in that case, I still need to peel it off of this piece nicely, regardless of whether I'm reusing this piece or not. So, really, I need to get this seam sealer out of here. So I might just fold this back and fold that down so I can get in there and try and peel the seam sealer off. Get the seam sealer off so I can see any spot welds, and then I'll sort of look at chopping all this off. Because like I say, it's got a massive kink in here which I'm not going to be straightening out. So yeah, sort of this bit was maybe, I can always chop this bit out, or this bit out, or this bit out, whatever I need for that when this is off, if I get this off in a bit of a cut. I'm just quite keen, I've only got an hour, and I'm quite, for the rest of the day, I've only got an hour I need to get back, so I'm keen to get at least this side off, and then tomorrow I'll attack this side.
So I decided the next best thing was to whip the subframe and everything off. So you can see me just whizzing off the 12mm for the top of the dampers and pushing them down, and then buzzing the lower arm lollipop bushes off. Get a jack under there, and then we're gonna undo the subframe bolts. Pretty quick and easy job, especially once you've done it once or twice before. And then yeah, lower it down. It did get a little bit stuck, but a little bit of pressure pushed it down and dropped straight out.
So now that's out of the way, we can start looking at, let's chop these bad boys off. Like I say, I've got my 3-inch cutting tool there, 3-inch disc cutter. I've got a grinder that I can throw some blades on. And yeah, let's crack on. So like I said earlier, I'm going to aim to cut just, there's a kink here, just to the car side of this grommet where the brake lines went. So I'm going to aim to cut just to this side, car side of that, pretty much in a straight line all the way up to the back side of this stud, and basically all the way around. It is likely that I'm going to end up taking more of this bit off when I come to place that one on, but I'd rather not take too much off just yet. I can always trim a little bit more here and there if and when I need to. So yeah, let's get the little disc cutter and some safety glasses on and start doing some choppy.
So after I fired a load of sparks in my face, I reversed the direction of the cutting wheel and went ham with it. It did a pretty good job, to be fair to say. It's only a small cutting tool. The smoke that you'll start to see in a minute is just from all the underseal and stuff from the inner side. So I managed to breathe all that into my lungs. Lovely jubbly. There wasn't quite enough reach with the little 3-inch cutting disc, so I broke out the grinder, and yeah, attacked it with that. Still struggled with reach a little bit. Couldn't get all the way through both sides of the shaft leg, so I just had to work round, get it as best as I could.
Turns out I've not got this very balanced.
One minute, 37 seconds later.
I think before I go any further, I need to reassess my axle stand position, or maybe just put one right at the back, just to stop it lifting like that. Right, I've just put a stack of wheels and some wood under the back of the car, so now it won't lift. I can't move it now. So we're hopefully not going to fall off the axle stands.
Great success.
So I think the last thing I'm going to do before I pack up for today is the bit of metal that I was on about earlier before I started chopping all this off. I just want to get that removed and any excess bits of metal, get it safe, and then we'll probably just move on to the other side tomorrow and get that side to the same state as this side, and then we can have a look at mocking that front end up on here, or get that in a position where that's ready to go on here. I have got the metal down here, you might be able to see under the car, there's some white wrapping. I've now got the metal so I can make my jig. So I've just run out of welding gas, unfortunately. So, and the place where I get my welding gas from doesn't have any in stock at the minute. So I'm going to get as far as I can with what I've got.
So, stupid me, forgot to press record on the GoPro. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get some extra camera angles for me drilling out these spot welds, but yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately.
I think regardless of how I end up putting this on, I think I'm going to have to take this capping off this lower bit of the chassis leg so that I can weld this piece, because obviously that piece is already going to be in. So I think regardless I'm going to have to take this capping off, and I was hoping I could use a subframe mount, but I think that'd have to come off with this capping. But if I get this piece up, lined up with, and this piece lined up, and this piece lined up, maybe I don't need a jig. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Maybe I can get away with just taking half of it off so I can keep a subframe mounting point, or even just keep the plate in there, which would be nice. The subframe mounting point gives me a date on both front ends, so I would like to do it through that if I can. Right, stop dilly-dallying.
So after all my waffling, I'm now just whipping off all the tops of the spot welds with a nice little handheld belt sander. Great little tool for doing this sort of thing. Yeah, makes the job really easy. And you're not taking away metal that is important. You can just get the top bits of the metal, the spot welds.
With that pulled off and the spot welds flattened and any little bits of metal just pulled off, I'm going to call it a day for today. So I'll see you in the morning, or in a couple of seconds for you. So obviously yesterday, or 30 seconds ago for you guys, you saw that we chopped this right hand chassis leg off. I'm going to do the same on the left now, pretty much exactly the same as I've done here, but I've just got to move some of the wiring because I haven't done that yet. I'll just unpick that and put it over the side. But I have also got a different tool to use, because you might have seen I struggled a little bit actually cutting through every layer just because of how thick it was in places, and that I was only using a grinder and a 3-inch cutting disc tool. So to make my life easier, I thought I'll get a big reciprocating saw and give that a go. Just whip it off nice and quick. So what took me an hour or so yesterday is probably going to take me about 20 minutes today, 15 minutes. So let's crack on. So with the wiring out of the way, I want to aim to cut it in roughly the same place as I did on this chassis rail. You saw that I cut it just to this back side of this hole and pretty much as straight as I can, but I just want to avoid the subframe mountings, so I'm just going to do exactly the same again. Ooh.
Twenty minutes later. Several days later.
Some fucking tension.
I'd say there's some tension in that.
Not enough. Carry on.
So the reciprocating saw, or the saw saw, if you're American, went through it like butter. I even used an old blade. It wasn't even a new blade. And yeah, went through it in no time, through all the layers, which made it a damn sight easier, as you're gonna see.
Removed. Right. So same deal as what I did with this side, except I'm doing it a different way around. I want to drill out these spot welds. So again, I'm just going to use a punch, center punch it, and drill them out. Same as yesterday. So yeah, nice little time lapse for you, hopefully. So I'm sort of at a little stopping point here now, as in from what I can cut off. Like I've maybe already said, I've not got any welding gas, I've run out of welding gas. And the place where I get it from hasn't got any in stock at the minute. I'm hoping they're going to have some tomorrow, and if they do, great success. But what I'm going to do is wire wheel away a lot of the under seal and stuff, so when I get to the point of chopping some more of this off and making my jig, I've literally got to cut it off. I don't have to do much cleaning and cutting, it's just well, I don't have to do much cleaning, still have to do some cutting, but at least it's all this under seal and stuff's taken off and ready for me to attack it. Because I'd like to get this, if I can get welding gas tomorrow, I'd like to make my jig tomorrow, and then maybe the day after that, maybe look at getting it on, but I'm sort of at the mercy of the welding gas gods. So, yeah. I'm about to clean some under seal. Exciting.
Yeah, like I said, just whipping all the under seal off, mainly so I can see where the panels meet, where the spot welds are, and gives me a better idea of where I could potentially start removing it, whether I take it off at the spot welds or cut it a bit lower. Yeah, helps me make that plan that I keep talking about.
That's front chassis legs chopped off. I think I'm going to leave it here for this video. I'm sort of running out of bits I can be doing until I get my welding gas. So if you enjoyed me chopping the front legs off of this E30, please consider subscribing, drop us a like, and yeah, see you in the next one hopefully.